everybody, and welcome back to Smith Party 06. I'm Audriana Smith, and this is our family's channel. If you haven't seen already, I just got finished recording our homeschool room tour, so I'll link that down below so you guys can go check that out if you want to. But now I'm about to show you guys what is currently in our morning basket. Now, I am not someone who always subscribed to the idea of having a morning basket. Because there were some of them that I've seen that just wouldn't work for our family, but that's what I love about homeschool, is because it's completely customized, so you can do whatever does work for your family. But some of them just seemed like it would be adding too much to our day instead of making our day simpler. And so I didn't really like those, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you what we've decided to do for our morning basket. So first of all, here is our little basket that we've used. It's a little rough, a little worse for wear, but that's okay. It completely works for us. It's big enough to house all of our stuff that we've got here. So basically what I've done with our morning basket was put everything that we do family style daily into here, and do all of the family style stuff first in the day, so that when each child is done with their lesson, then they're completely done for the day and have free time to do what they want to do until we move on to like more structured parts of our day. All right, so first thing that we do every single morning is Bible. If you saw one of our last videos, then you already know that our original Bible plan did not work out. Some people, by the way, really did not like that I used the word fail. I am of the thought process that it is not a terrible thing to fail. Like, I'm okay with the fact that the original plan that I had did not work out. I'm completely okay with that, and it doesn't like hurt me personally to call it a fail. So I think that that was okay that I said that. Because that's what it is, but it's okay to fail sometimes and to learn from that and then to move on and find better things. So that's what we've done. So I have already showed you guys that we use this for like actually reading Bible stories, but then I've also started incorporating some other stuff too. So I found this Fruit of the Spirit, like little, like, it's like a children's church type of curriculum. I found it at a yard sale. And so we've been kind of working through that, just different activities that are actually age appropriate for them. Not all of it is in here, that's okay. But the ones that I think that they would enjoy, and just to kind of understand more about the different fruits of the Spirit that grow in our lives from having Jesus be a part of our lives, like anything that actually fits, then we go ahead and we'll do that occasionally. Like we did a couple this past week about love. So we were learning about, you know, the way that God loves us and how that can grow love in our own lives and teach us how to better love other people. So we have worked on that some. But then, oh my goodness, and I posted this over on Instagram. If you don't already follow us over there, then go ahead and do that. There's always a link down in the description box to our Instagram account. I'll be honest, like, I'm not intensely active over there just because Instagram's like not fully my thing, but I do like to share some stuff over there occasionally. So I have already shared these nifty little guys over on Instagram. I found these on Kids Read Truth. And actually a girl in like a woman in a homeschooling group that I'm in suggested Kids Read Truth. And so I went and got a few things. This book is called This is the Gospel. I'm going to be reading this to the kids as one of our read alouds this week. Just like a short one. It'll, you know, we'll read it in one day because it's just a little picture book. But it just goes basically from the beginning and sin entering the world and what that meant, so that the kids can better understand what Jesus' sacrifice actually means. So I really, really like this book. And then we also got these two sets of cards, and this is what I shared on Instagram. So this is like people in the Bible conversation cards. They come in like this nice little box here. And basically, here's like the front of the Adam and Eve card. If you guys can see that. And then on the back, so up here it has like who they were. And then right here it says, God created you in his image, just like he made Adam and Eve. What are some of your favorite things about the way God made you? So then there's just like different like conversation points that can spring up like from each person in the Bible. But then I could also quiz the kiddos about like, okay, who is this depicting, and tell me something about them. Just like, it can be like a more fun way to like learn, a little more hands-on. And then this one is super hands-on. It's the Kids Read Truth Names of God matching cards. And so my kids love matching games. Like, they're obsessed with matching games. So I thought that this would be a fun way to read like the different, or to learn the different names of God. So for example, this one says Yahweh and has like a little bit about the meaning of the name Yahweh, and then it has it in English here, the Lord. You can do it like a couple different ways basically. So there's matching artwork on the back so that you know which two match together. And so you can learn that way by matching up the artwork and then reading about each one. But then once they kind of get used to that and start learning what this name in Hebrew means in English, then you can just have them laying out face up where they can't see the artwork, and then they try to match like Yahweh with the Lord without being able to see the artwork matching on the back. So I thought that that was like a fun way for them to be able to learn as well. So that was all of our Bible stuff. So I'll just kind of rotate through those different things throughout the week. Like, we won't do all of those every single day. Like, we just pick one thing and either like read a story or do the conversation cards or the names of God cards or an activity out of the Fruit of the Spirit book. So we're constantly doing different things, and it keeps it more interesting and more fun for them because they are still little. All right, the next thing that we do after we're done with Bible, we either do music, art, or nature. For music, we usually do YouTube videos. We really like Prodigy's music lessons on YouTube. The kids have a lot of fun. They have different ones with like a rhythm or like basic pitch, and they do like the solfege hand signs and learning like the solfege, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So it's like actually teaching them real musical principles, but they're doing it in like a fun way. So the kids really like those. We also listen to music from The Good and the Beautiful. So Jenny Phillips actually has put out like some songs, like the vowel sounds, different letter songs, or songs that go with their math. So stuff like that we'll listen to as well. Usually during this time we don't do worship music. That is something that's separate for us. We start our day listening to worship music anyways. I like to have it on while the kids are like getting ready or doing chores or whatever in the morning, or like sometimes in the evening we'll turn it on and have like worship or whatever together. I was slacking on like family worship time for a while, and it was really sweet. Then when I finally did turn it back on, Elijah, our oldest, he's almost 7, was like, oh my goodness, mommy, I feel so much better now. Don't you feel so much better? And then I felt awful, like, oh my goodness, because I hadn't been doing it consistently. But I thought that that was really cool that he, even as young as he is, noticed the difference that worshiping God makes in our own lives. But anyways, I digress. So, but during music time, we don't usually do worship. But then for art, we have these books from The Good and the Beautiful. So like for this week, they're gonna be doing paintings inspired by Ton Schulten. And they'll learn a little bit about him and then do some different it's like color blocking type of paintings. So they're gonna do that one day this week. Or sometimes I'll just kind of pick out something separately that's not in there and do it. Like for example, last week they worked on making like little countdown chains. We're gonna be going on vacation soon. And so they worked on little chains to like count down how much longer we have until we go on vacation. So that was fun for them. And then, of course, it's nice to not have them asking me every single day, Mommy, is it time to go to the beach yet? Like, okay, let's go count the chain. How many days do we have left? And then for our nature, we use The Good and the Beautiful's nature notebook. My son's the only one who actually writes in it. The girls will do the activities, but not actually like write anything down. And so our next activity that we're gonna be doing is leaf rubbing. So we just kind of cycle through doing music, nature, or art, just depending on the day. So that kind of helps us like ease into our day. Like it's good to start with Bible, then have something like fun or artistic to do. But then after that, we kind of start getting into the more structured activities. So I usually have them sit down and we'll do like a read aloud together. I haven't actually found a good like chapter book yet for them. I thought that the Chronicles of Narnia were gonna be it. Like at the beginning, it was going really, really well. But the longer it went on and just the vocabulary that it used, even though it's good to have it be like a step or two above them, it was just too far above where especially the girls were. Elijah was totally cool. Like he could have sat through me reading the whole thing, but the girls especially were having a really hard time. So I'm looking for a chapter book that would be good for all of us to be able to read as a family. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down below, because I would love to have something that's like ongoing that we're reading instead of just doing like small like picture type books every day. I want them to be able to start like visualizing some things in their mind, instead of always having to have something in their face showing them. Okay, so if you have any suggestions, please drop them down below. All right, but after our read aloud, then we'll do the last thing in our morning basket, which is our last family style thing. So every day we either do social studies, science, or our safety unit. So for social studies, if you guys watched my curriculum videos, then you know, but we use these workbooks, these 180 days of social studies workbooks, and usually like we won't just use this, they're pretty simple. We'll usually like do a couple worksheets out of it, and then I'll kind of expand on it and talk about kind of why it's important. Or like this past week we were talking about rules, so like rules and laws. So we kind of started talking about why they're important and kind of where they come from and our values and how those kind of shape the rules that we have, things like that. So we'll have a bigger discussion than just the workbook, but that's kind of like the lead in to our discussion. Or if we're not doing that, then we are doing something from around the world. So far we've done a couple of these. I really liked doing our South America unit with them, and the kids had a lot of fun with it. So we learn about somewhere in our atlas. So like here's Southern North America. So if we were learning about like Mexico and the islands around it, like Cuba, the Bahamas, all that stuff. So this is where we would go first, and we would learn some about it from here. And then throughout the week, I'd incorporate like different fun YouTube videos or a hands-on activity that went with it. And I usually try to make like a couple of meals for dinner that like are from that area. So that's why it was so fun with South America, because South American food is delicious. So the kids have a lot of fun with that. If it is science day, then we use our Good and the Beautiful curriculum. We are currently in arthropods. We have not gotten super far with this so far. So we are gonna be like on lesson 5 this week, which is the intro to like bees and wasps. So that's where we're at right now. I always plan on doing 2 days of science every week. For some weeks that hasn't worked out so far. So it's kind of put us behind a little bit, especially with our oral presentations. I had originally planned on just working on that for 1 week, but we ended up working on it for 2 weeks. So it put us back just a little bit, but I'd rather kind of slow down my plan and then really be able to absorb the information than to just speed through it too quick and then them only pick up just a little bit of it. So that's what we've been doing for science. And then, like I said, the other thing that we would do during that time, which we just do 1 day a week, is our safety unit. And after safety is done, I haven't decided yet if I'll just do like another day of science or another day of social studies, or if I'll incorporate something else. So I had originally planned for like an interest study type of time. So like they would pick something that they're interested in, and then we could do that in place of our safety unit time. So we'll see. I haven't quite decided yet. If you guys do anything like that, let me know like how that works out. All right, but anyways, so right now we have finished up with water and electricity, and we're gonna be working on earthquakes and natural disasters next. So that's been really good for them, especially since we are about to be going to the beach and we just finished the unit on water and electricity. Like, it was good for them to be able to learn more about water safety. I really appreciated that. So yeah, that's basically what we do. Oh, and the two other little things that I have in there, I have like this color wheel for like during art time if they need that. And then we also have this book of like 6,000 amazing facts. Sometimes they just like to like pick out stuff in here and learn about it. So I have that like just stuck down in there, but it's not something that we consistently do. It's just kind of if they want to type of thing. So that is basically what we do in our morning time. So it's broken up into 4 pieces: Bible, something artistic, read aloud, and then finally like our family style type of activity, the science, social studies, or interest study. All right guys, but that is everything that is in our morning basket. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye.